Peace, blessings, and black power. Um, the other day I was sitting in my living room and I was watching TV and I seen the little kid, the 1 year old, get killed. And I'm like, man, what's going on with our youngest, man? So I had to call in my expert, street block expert, Brother X, aka Man, aka nephew. Brother X, I want to ask you, man, what's going on with these youngins? And why are they like this?
It's gonna be controversial. People gonna be mad. But the bottom line is the destruction of our community, the black woman is by and large responsible for.
Oh, man. Hold on. The black woman is responsible for the way the kids act today?
Let me issue a disclaimer first. I gotta issue a disclaimer
Yes,
for the
sir.
viewer watchers. First of all, I believe that the black woman is the queen.
Okay.
I believe that the black woman is the first woman on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the black woman is sacred and divine.
Mm.
However, after 500 years of white supremacy, I believe that black women are the culprit in the destruction of us as a race.
Now, man, you got to give me some examples and break this thing down for me, man, because this is a little above my head.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Okay.
When we talk about the development of us as a people, right? If you go to any black woman, just go through your phone and just pick one, and a black woman with a son, and say, your son getting in trouble. I see he's starting to get in trouble and starting to rebel. I want to put him in the Nation of Islam school. Because he needs some discipline, he needs some knowledge, he needs some direction. You know what she gonna say?
What's that?
But we not Muslims. And he needs some discipline, but I ain't really with the Muslim stuff, right? That's what she gonna say.
That's what she gonna say. Okay.
The same woman, the exact same woman. If you say, your son is moving forward progressively in school, we trying to get him in Gonzaga. We trying to get him in Archbishop Carroll. We trying to get him in DeMatha. She gonna be like, okay, that's a Catholic school. Why your logic don't say, I don't want him to be no Catholic? Because you locked in the white supremacy. You locked in the white supremacy.
Okay, Chad.
You don't care if it's a Catholic school or not. You just want him in there. But why you don't use that same logic when it comes to something that works and something that's good? Because it's black and you against black.
Man, that's a heavy. And I seen that example in particular, St. Albans, because St. Albans is one of the best schools, not only in D.C. but in the country. Over there on Wisconsin Avenue.
Yeah.
I know a woman in particular. Of course, she didn't have the same.
I'm down in Georgetown. I know it's that by Jello.
Her son was going. She did all she could to make sure he stayed up in there. So this is interesting to hear that point of view. Because we send our kids to Catholic schools all day and break our pockets to do so. So that's interesting. Theory.
Let me ask you this. So you got the black woman, and we're gonna talk about the 90s, 2000. All the young guys that made these babies, they 18, 19 years old, kids 1 or 2 years old. They going away, if they not getting killed, they going away 20, 30 years.
Right.
So now, I know the woman by nature is caring and nurturing and going to try to save her son. So what should she do when the black man is not in the house? Because that's most of the time that's what's going on. The black male is not in the house.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that the black woman will go out her way to protect her son. I don't agree with that.
No.
And all throughout America, it's not one national movement with black women that's organized. We tired of our sons killing each other all over America. Where is it at? Where's the woman organization? I ain't talking about the police killed your son, now you an activist. I ain't talking about like that. I ain't talking about your son got killed in the alley, and now you an activist. I'm talking about a black woman who loves black people and just see black young boys killing each other and want to organize and stop. Where it don't exist. Nowhere in America. It ain't in Chicago. It ain't in Atlanta. It ain't in Memphis. It ain't in D.C. These are places where black men are getting killed every single day. Black boys are getting killed every single day. So
Wow.
I can't go along with the narrative that black women. No, that's not true.
You don't think so?
No, not according to the facts. Now we're gonna use our emotions and make it something else in them two different narratives.
Right.
But we go off the facts, the data. Where are the black women with the Joe Biden election? You see how the black community was divided among gender. Black men was by and large supporters of Donald Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Black men supported?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't
And
know.
black women supported Joe Biden. Even though Joe Biden not only he wrote the crime bill in 1994 that decimated the black community, locked up.
Is that the one that what's the president who
Bill
pushed
Clinton.
it? Bill Clinton pushed it. That's it. So he wrote that bill.
Yes.
Clinton pushed it.
And that decimated the black community. That
Yeah,
locked all us
yeah.
up. And so now we still suffering from the ravages of us being locked up. So you got Mook Red Little Man grew up without no father, without no male guidance. And so the black mother is traumatized. And so she adopts and are being traumatized to just cope.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
So
So
you-
tell me.
Okay, well, I understand. So you say she just coping. So what do she do in the absence of the male in the house?
Black women are so pressed to give their sons or children what they didn't have that they forget to give them what they did have.
Oh, that's deep with it, Chin. So that's probably what I was saying, because when I was saying that they, try to look out for their son and kid, but you saying they're so busy trying to give their son what they didn't have that they forget about
giving them what we did have. Like we had discipline. We had respect.
Respect for your elders. Yeah.
Like if even if you're using profanity, if an elder come around, you want to change your language.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna get on the train today with these young.
Man, they off the hook.
And if you say something, they'll whoop you.
Man. Yeah. Don't get up for elders or nothing. Yeah.
And it's all about disrespect. And if you look at it, black mothers, they're not doing anything to destroy that type of mentality.
Yeah.
Where?
Yeah. Tell me this though.
Where?
So you say they're responsible for the destruction of black people in particular?
Everything that's going on in our community, black women is the leader in it. If black women said, we don't like boys that don't go to school. We don't like boys that don't pull their pants up. We don't like boys that carry a gun to kill black people. We don't talk to boys like that. We don't like boys that's against black people selling drugs in our community. We against that. Guess what happened? Guess what would happen?
Man, I don't know.
Jay-Z and R. Kelly got a song, The Power of the... Yeah, you heard that song? They said that's why we get haircuts and try to dress fly.
Yeah. Man.
They got power.
Yeah.
But black women like the shooter. Black women like the shooter. The dude that carried the gun, she like him. She said, I don't like that other dude, he corny. He a square.
Man.
Yeah, she don't like him, she like the shooter. The disrespect. Talk to me now. We gonna tell the truth or we gonna lie to them?
No, I called you in to get your opinion.
But tell me this, if black men supposed to be the head, how can you blame, if black men supposed to be responsible for their community in general, how can you blame a woman for the decimation of the people?
Because black women know their responsibility, right? Know their role, know their power, and still promote foolishness. Still promote. Like you could talk to a black woman right now and tell her about her son. She gonna support it till he get killed.
I seen that.
Soon as he get killed, then she wanna organize. We need to stop the violence. We need to sit down with the mayor and the chief of police. Yeah, now she. But before that, she gonna say that wasn't her son.
Yeah, I seen that.
Every black woman you talk to, you tell her about her son, you know what she gonna say? You ain't be hanging around him. I just tried to tell him stop hanging around him a little bit. No, he's the devil. It ain't the little boy. It's your son. He the one that shot that man.
Your son is the ringleader.
Yeah.
He was hanging around the wrong crowd. He is the wrong crowd. Oh man, yeah.
That's what's going on in our community.
But
Go ahead.
I got one that I know a lot of black women come back with this.
Come on.
The physical abuse of men against black women. Like, if I don't know if you saw the show last week we did about how women been,
Domestic
as far as
violence.
domestic violence, more likely to be
2.5
times more likely to be killed than a white woman. So by another black man. So I know this one is going to be coming down the pipe. So give me what your
this is the stuff that's designed to make us hate each other.
Right.
So the white man will give you some data, some statistics, some of what you say about the black woman more.
2.5 times more likely to get killed than a white woman.
That ain't got nothing to do with the
By a
white
black man.
Well, the white woman more, how many times likely to get killed by the white man?
Yeah. But
The Chinese woman more likely to get killed by the Chinese man.
but they saying 2.5 times more likely
So
to
how many more times is the
To
Jewish
Jewish murder.
woman likely to die by the
But-
Jewish man?
So we know that.
I'm asking the
all-
question though.
But
See, they don't even
all
they don't
races-
count that. They
all
only count stuff to
races-
make us look bad.
Man.
They don't count what's the likelihood of a Jewish woman being killed by a Jewish man? What's the likelihood? See,
all likelihood.
they not gonna give you that. They gonna give you stuff on blacks to make it look like we bad, we negative, we can't get along, we can't come together. These are narratives to make us hate each other.
Right.
If you can't give me a cross the board narrative that's comparing like that, it don't go for nothing. We talk about, look at all the black people killing each other. Black people, it ain't these white people killing us, it's black people killing us. It ain't black people killing Chinese, it's Chinese people killing Chinese. It ain't black people killing white people, it's white people killing white people.
Yeah, that's facts.
But they give us that to make us feel like we less than.
Man.
Like we just inadequate. That's not true.
So what do you say? Because women gonna bring this up about the black men and their lack of responsibility and this and that and abuse and all that.
See,
Is this gonna come up
let me address
with the feminine narrative?
Right.
The feminine
But
narrative.
I'm not against.
Feminist
I'm
narrative.
for black women. Now. I don't
Yeah.
want you to think I'm against black
Of course,
women.
I know this.
What you saying,
Yeah.
black men? What you say, black men was what?
As more like as black men about black men and their responsibility as far as with domestic violence and all that. That's one thing that we spoke about.
I'm against us. The black woman must be respected and protected. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said we got to respect and protect the black woman. Black women in America have been holding it down for 500 years now. I got to keep it real
Right.
on
Yeah.
the racial front.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the black man was on the slave plant, on the plantation, the black woman stood up for us and made our job a little bit easier so the white man won't get on his butt. Now, today, in 2020, she is part and parcel to white supremacy.
And do you think she's part of the system and don't even know it, or you think she?
I think she doesn't know. I think some black women, if you talk to them and explain it to them, and they begin to see, I think that they will realize that they are part of a bigger conspiracy to destroy us as a people.
Mm.
If you look at homosexuality in our community,
All right, now you about.
Oh,
to,
yeah.
You
Oh,
about to,
man.
oh,
Oh man!
You
Hey,
about,
you about to get us in trouble now. We trying to stay up. You trying?
let me say this.
Don't bring that up yet.
I'm a student of history,
okay.
right? So when you talk about history, most people don't know history, right? So if you talk about history from a historical perspective and a person is not abreast with history, they're gonna think you crazy. So I always say that when you deal with homosexuality, black people, we learn homosexual behavior from white people.
Mm.
This is a historical fact. The Greeks and the Romans were always gay.
That's right.
Greece is in Europe, Rome is in Europe, and if you look at the word lesbian, it comes from the island of Lesbo. It was a Greek island with white women, and the white woman was the original lesbian. On the island of Lesbo, the people there were called lesbians. So if you're a black lesbian, you got it from the white woman.
Man.
That's a historical fact.
Man. Now I didn't know that. You told me something new, champ. I didn't know. So let me ask you this: where in Africa, if words no, because was it the Sodom and Gomorrah in Africa?
No. In fact, Sodom and Gomorrah is mythology. You can't go nowhere outside the Bible and show me Sodom and Gomorrah, no book. Show me some graves in Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay. I just so for the most part, is it wasn't any gay people in Africa before.
There's no history of that. Dr. John Henry Clark said in Africa, there's no word for old folk homes, because we ain't had no old folk homes.
Mm-hmm.
He said there's no word for prison, because we ain't had no prison.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't had none of the things, we ain't had no homosexuality, none of it. Where is the history? Where is the history of African people when we was engaged in homosexuality? It don't exist. Now when you talk about homosexuality, it make you think that black people, we originated it. We the face of it now.
Man, yeah, man. You dropping some heavy knowledge on
Man.
us. Yeah, he's dropping some heavy knowledge on us. So, you know, with this being said, we always talk about the problems, and we can get to this later if you like, but what do you think are some of the things we can combat this?
Well, one believing in ourselves. Like black people don't believe in ourselves. And like if you on drugs, the first step to getting off drugs is to admit that you're addicted. Mm-hmm. If you're an alcoholic, the first step to getting off on being an alcoholic is to admit that you're addicted. So the first thing we got to admit is to admit that we messed up. Mm-hmm. And the way that we've been doing it don't work. Mm. It don't work. We done tried it. It don't work. We done tried it. Everything that they gave us, and it hasn't worked for our community. Mm. If you look at all the things we done since Dr. King, since the 60s, since integration, none of it worked. Look at our community. In 1993, 1 out of 4 black men between 16 and 35 was either in prison, on parole, or on probation. Then it went from 1 out of 4, which is 25%, to 1 out of 3, which is 33%. In DC, it's 1 out of 2.
Yeah, I know DC half.
Yeah. So every 2 brothers you see, one of them tied into the system. So these are real facts. This is not no ghost facts. Yeah. This really exists. So either you got to say black people are just violent prone, we criminals by nature, we messed up, or it's a bigger conspiracy that exists and we don't know nothing about, but we are participants in it because we don't know it exists.
I definitely think it's a conspiracy to pump drugs.
Do you think that black women, if they knew the bigger picture, they would be doing the things that they do to us? Look how many black fathers on child support. Not because they don't take care of their children.
Yeah.
Not because they don't take care of their children. Yeah, because they got a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
They get them on child support.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with the mother no more. They on child support. Like these are real issues. And who among the women that's gonna pull her up and say, girl, you know you dead wrong? Nobody. Yeah. They got a system, a sisterhood that back foolishness. Yeah. Like the morals are being destroyed in our community. Now women cheat more than men.
Man.
Yeah. And women support it. Girl, you better get them before he get you. Yeah. So all of the things, this don't mean that, I'm not saying that across the board all black women are with it and protect. I'm not saying that. But by and large, the reality is that we haven't confronted the problems in a real way to call each other out. Not an agenda war, but there are things that black men have to change. And there are things that black women have to change. If we're going to get our family together, we got to come together as one. And I want to see an example where the black man is a king in a household, because the black woman is the king and the queen.
The alpha and omega.
Like when you get to talking real talk, real conversations, the black man is a king by nature. When you go against your nature and act other than yourself, you're not going to be successful. And so you look at the black woman, she acting like she the man, and the black man, he not acting like a woman in terms of being feminine, but he acting like a woman in terms of having no voice.
No voice, yeah. And that's not to say a woman shouldn't have a voice, but
right.
Yeah, I got it.
But it's by design because the nature of the man is the head of the house. And let me say this, because the black woman is a Christian. Well, I got to say this because she's going to say, well, why don't she going to come with this feminism, right? You believe in Jesus, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 22. Wives, submit to your husband as unto the Lord.
Oh my God.
But you don't really believe that. She don't really believe that.
Man.
She don't really believe it.
Man.
She don't. Where is it displayed at in Black America? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Man, I'm in the process of reading A Promised Land by Barack Obama.
Barack Obama, Nathan McCall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Promised Land.
Yeah, Nathan
And
McCall.
he said his wife, he the president. He said his wife running. He said, man, when Michelle get mad at me, man,
I think we should have like a national dialogue as Black men and Black women, right? Not in a way that we enemies, because we partners, we natural partners of one another, right? But what's going on in our community, we being weakened. Being weakened by, it's like a broader conspiracy, and Black women have bought into the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at all of the things that's against us, Black women support it. Like, why should we vote for Joe Biden in light of the 1994 crime bill, right? If you talk to a Black person, a serious conversation, politics is not about voting just because you got the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's an ignorant Negro that tell you something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You vote your self-interest in exchange for something.
Man, yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I vote for you, what you gonna give me?
Yeah.
If I vote for you.
Or my community.
Right.
Yeah.
So we vote for you in exchange for something.
Mm-hmm.
But Black folk, that's what we vote. We Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
So the white Democrat don't even gotta offer you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All they gotta do is we gotta get rid of the Republicans.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is point to somebody else that's not a Democrat, and you feel a sense of loyalty.
Yeah.
But the Jewish man and the Jewish woman, they don't care about that.
Yeah.
Which one of y'all gonna address our agenda? How do you feel about Israel? What's your position on foreign aid going to Israel? Then the Republican and the Democrat can put on the yarmulke and go into the synagogue. Because they understand politics.
Yeah.
Not the Negro. All you gotta do is kiss a Black baby, eat some chicken, and say, you got my vote.
But let me ask you this. Is it because that we're just ignorant to politics, or
We're ignorant to everything.
okay?
Let me tell you something. The Black man and the Black woman during slavery, we were stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our religion, our history, our folkways, our mores, our norms. We were stripped of everything. So I got the last name Ford. Ford is not my name because the white slave master Ford was happy with my family and said, y'all cool, come on, and so y'all Fords too. No, it was to identify us as property. So if we ran from the Ford plantation, another white man said, hey, what's your name? He said, Ford. He said, oh, you belong to Master Ford.
You're in the wrong place, matter of fact. Come on here. Let me put these
So
cups
the
on.
name identified you as property. So Minister Malcolm X said, when a woman divorces a man, the first thing she getting back is his name. So we free people while we still got slave names.
Man, that's one to think about.
But if you tell a Black person, they're gonna do, oh, this ain't no slave name. We argue all fools, everything that's is beneficial for us, we against it.
Yeah.
And that's just because we just don't know.
We don't have, if you don't have knowledge yourself, how can you know your self-interest?
Yeah.
You can't. It's impossible to know your self-interest. Black power is based upon Black unity. You can't have Black power unless you have Black unity. But Black unity is based on Black love, because you can't unify when you ain't no love. And Black love is based on Black self-knowledge, because you can't love what you don't know.
God damn it,
Man.
break it down, baby.
Brother Malcolm. I am Malcolm. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So right now, what would you tell the ladies that's watching our show right now that has a son from 0 to 15?
We need to find a way. We need to organize ourselves, get some Black men. I'm trying to start a school in D.C. I want to start a school for just Black boys. We need an all Black boy school. And we need to have some Black male teachers. Nowhere in America, in Black America, do Black boys get the chance to see in their school a black man in a role where he ain't a coach or a goddamn custodian. He either coach or the custodian. He ain't no academic.
That's true Bill right there.
And if he is a teacher, he a faggot.
Oh man.
Oh, you can't say that word. Homosexual. You can't say that word. He ain't no black man that's straight.
Yeah.
So black boys don't get to see a strong black positive male image ever.
Yeah.
In his school, his math teacher is either white, Chinese, or female. It ain't no black man. His science teacher ain't no black man.
Yeah. And yeah.
The security guard at the door, black man.
So here's this. What do you say? Because it's a big, I've seen, especially middle class educated black women, it's a big thing that they feel, and black women are the least likely to get married out of all the races.
Right.
They're the most likely to marry black men when they do get married. But this is what especially middle class educated black women, they say their problem is that like they can't find nobody on their level. And understand from my perspective,
Right.
The level is my education
Right.
and my
Money.
financial resources, right?
Now they can't find nobody on their level. Why? See, this when we start to look for the footprints in the sand, we're gonna find a conspiracy. Why you can't find no black man that on your level? Why the black man ain't educated? See, we ain't just no bad people. We don't like reading and we don't want to know nothing. It was something in place that prevented us from learning. It was against the law to read. It was a time when they would kill you for reading.
But they're gonna tell you that was 400 years ago. You know that's what they're gonna say. Well, what about now? Why can that Negro read right now? He don't got ain't no law on him read right now. You know that was coming back.
Integration decimated the black community. Integration destroyed the black community. Before integration, we had black motels, we had black hotels, we had black bus companies, we had black taxi cab companies, we had black restaurants. And when the desegregation came, we thought the white man ice was colder than the black man ice.
Oh, yeah.
Or the white man sugar sweeter than the black man sugar. So then we go to spend our money with people that don't look like us and don't like us, then our business is shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And so we never recovered from that because we thought that we had arrived and that we came. So the illusion of inclusion, which is integration, that never happened. See, when you moved in a white man neighborhood, right? That's what he did.
He moved out.
White flight.
Mm-hmm.
So you never was integrated.
Mm-hmm. You was integrated to spend that money with Gucci.
When you came in a neighborhood that was predominantly white, now when the blacks come in, they move out. They call it white flight. And you move to the suburbs, they move to the exurbs. They don't want to be. So where's the integration? We was never integrated. You still go to a black church. They don't go to church with you. Mm-hmm. You still go to a black school because they moved out. The school that Roosevelt used to be a white school. Mm-hmm. Cadoza used to be a white school. When you start going, they don't want to go no more. Mm-hmm. But they're going to tell you we all the same, right? But they don't believe that. So we under the illusion of inclusion, so we not thinking in terms of doing something for ourselves. We think that if we want to do something for ourselves, something wrong with us. We're racist. I ain't with that racist stuff.
You're a nerd. Okay, so you wrap that up because I was trying to figure out where you're going, but you bring it back to me.
Right.
So the whole time, the stuff that was happening in the 60s and the 70s, we kind of got messed up, and we never, because it's some dudes that go, but on a grand scale, there's more people than
right.
rebel.
But you still didn't answer, what did the black woman do about this dude that she can't find on her level?
Well, her level was...
Because you said, why?
You got to understand.
You said that, why? But she want to know, look, that sound real good. I'm talking about right now. I understand you broke down and she might go back and read Dr. Clark and all that.
She wanted a black man with 2-3 PhDs.
Exactly. She wanted a dude who can make, she making 6, she want him to make 6. So I just want you to address that because that's something that black women say all the time. I have an understanding, but you the scholar here, you the premier scholar, so we gonna let you hit on that.
A man that got the money don't want her.
Man.
The man that got the money don't want her. He don't. Why he want you? He don't want you.
Break
Let me
down
stop.
why.
I'm
Yeah,
tell you
here
why.
we go.
We come up, most black men by and large, if you talk to them, the woman that they trust the most and love the most is their mother.
Mm.
Most black men. Because the black woman, as a mother, she has a relationship with her son. She love him for real. She gonna be there for him for real. And when you transition from your mother and to be in a relationship, the woman is supposed to be better than your mother in terms of love and service and commitment and all of that. But it ain't there. That don't exist. She love her son. She don't love you. Get into it with her son.
Yeah.
She'll show you side.
Man, that's yeah.
Get into it with her son. She'll show you side she on.
Yeah.
You talking about this divine order, man, woman, and the children and the divine. Get into it with me. All that's going out the window.
Oh man. Yeah.
And then on top of all that, I know the statistics, man, half the jokers locked up, a lot of them, homosexuals. That a lot of people got killed during the 90s.
And then your expectations might be a little bit too high. You might be using the same expectations as the mainstream media, which is false. And is an illusion.
But let me say this though, because I think that there's a lot of educated black men, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the image of us being ignorant, that's being promoted. The image of us being from the streets, ignorant, backwards, disrespectful, that's what's being promoted.
Mm.
But I don't really believe that that's altogether true.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? Because we got to understand, we at war. Mm-hmm. Black people scared to acknowledge that we at war. J. Edgar Hoover said we must stop the rise of a black messiah. This is the FBI, the director of the FBI, with federal tax dollars, worked against all black organizations in the 60s. Mm. Killed off leaders, imprisoned leaders, broke up organizations. These are organizations that were designed to build us up. These are organizations, the Black Panthers was designed to make us stand up and defend our community. The Black Panthers had a free breakfast program to educate our children. J. Edgar Hoover broke that up. The FBI broke up Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. They made them start a rivalry. Mm-hmm. Like they deported Marcus Garvey. We can run the list.
Panthers,
everything that was for us, they came against us to destroy us. And we scared to acknowledge that. The reason why we don't want to acknowledge that, because then we've been in a position that they must be our enemy. And if you recognize them as an enemy, then you gonna stand up and fight or acknowledge that you've been a coward for 500 years.
Mm. Man, that's deep.
That's real deep.
See, we got to decide: do we want to be free men and women, or we gonna be slaves?